Well, we never gave up sailing, but we are returning to motorcycling. Stay tuned and find out. So 2 years ago, I made a video saying that we was giving up our life on the open sea, putting the boat up for sale, returning back to England, buying an adventure bike, and then we were going to tour around across various continents on the bike. So we're keeping our travelling going. Shortly after that video, we decided that we don't really want to give up this lifestyle of living on a boat, living in the sun, where it's nice, easy living and a nice way of life. However, we needed to make a compromise because, as I said in that video, we were starting to miss family. Jen especially wanted to spend more time with the kids, although they're not kids. So we came to a compromise. I didn't want to give up this lifestyle here really. So we came to the compromise that we would go back to the UK over winter, like from the end of November to the beginning of April, and then we could still have our life here over in Greece, doing what we love doing, being in the sun, being on the boat, being by the sea. And honestly, we don't regret it, not for a second. But there is something that we've both missed, and that is the biking, the bike tours. If you're new to this channel, then you probably won't know this, but for many, many years, biking was my life. I've ridden motorbikes since I was 12 years old. When I was 16, I got my first road bike. 17, got a bigger bike, got my test passed, got even bigger bikes. And Jen loves the biking as well, albeit she's a pillion, but she loves it, and she loves the adventures and the travels that we've had on the bikes. Now, I was a class 1 police motorcyclist, I was an advanced instructor, I was a bike safe assessor, an edge trained assessor, I was on the national training team for Harley Davidson owners, I was a road captain, I was a DSA instructor, I had my own training school, and I also had a business, Let's Ride Bikes, which was a European luxury motorcycle touring company. And during the time we was running the tours, we went all over Europe. We saw some fantastic things, we met some fantastic people, we had a lot of fantastic people join us on the tours. And to be honest, after years of doing that and years of not doing it, we're now getting the itch to do it again. But we don't want to give up the sailing lifestyle. Now, one of the bucket list things for Jen was a trip to Cappadocia in Turkey. And her idea was we'd sail over to Turkey on the boat, leave the boat, go up to Cappadocia, have a look around, come back, get on the boat and go. It's 1,000 miles, 1,000 kilometres inland, and there's no way I'm going to leave the boat on anchor, because we'd need a week to go and explore it if we went on a bus or something, or I had a car. So I came up with an idea. Why don't we buy an adventure bike? We can keep it here in Greece, so we can use it while we're here. We've got a scooter, we go everywhere on that. A bike would be better, or a bigger bike. And then we could get a ferry over to Turkey, and we could spend a month at the beginning of next year exploring Turkey and the whole of Cappadocia, because I think, looking at the map, Cappadocia is about the size of Austria, so it's not somewhere where you can just go, see a couple of things and then come away. So I just mentioned it out in conversation to her, dropped it out, and she was like, wow, what a fantastic idea. So that is what we've decided to do. At the moment, we're looking around for a bike. Now, I've got a friend a few boats up from where we are in the marina who bought a brand new Benelli 702 2 years ago. He's done less than 1,000 kilometres on it. He doesn't like riding it. He doesn't like the roads in Greece, and he's thinking of getting rid of it. So I'm thinking, well, I've just spoke to him and I've told him to give me an idea on a price what he wants. He told me to make him an offer. I've told him to make me an offer on what he wants, and then I'm sure we'll come to some agreement in between. So it could possibly be that we end up with this Benelli. Now, I know they're cheap bikes, but here, here in Greece we don't get a lot of rain really, so they should last longer than that they would probably in UK roads. So we'll see. Let's see what happens with that one. The thing is, it is an adventure bike style. I don't want to be spending £20,000, £15,000-20,000. I'd love a BMW GS. Who wouldn't? It's always been my dream bike. But realistically, for driving it a few weeks every year, riding it a few weeks every year, before when we come back here on the boat at the end of the season, before we fly back to England, and then when we fly back from England back to here, other than a month's road trip in Turkey, it's not going to be getting used that much. So I'm not going to be paying stupid money, but I want something that's going to be big enough to carry both of us, comfortable to ride, handle the terrain that we're going on, and basically do the job without it costing an arm and a leg. So why Turkey? Well, as I said, Jen wants to visit Cappadocia. They've got incredible roads, ancient history, food. The food apparently is a lot, well, I think the food will definitely be better than Greek food. Greek's a bit bland, they don't like using spices and stuff. We love spicy food, so that's one bonus for us. There's the mountains, there's the different scenery. There are places in Greece like that, but I think in Turkey you've got a more varied amount of scenery over bigger spans. And if you've ever looked at Cappadocia, it's like it's on a different planet. So the rough plan at the moment, we will leave Crete the beginning of May next year. We will get on a ferry, possibly head over to Rhodes or Kos, and then get a ferry from there over to Turkey. If we go the Kos route, then we have to get 3 ferries, one from here up to Paros, Paros to Lipsi, Lipsi to Kos, then Kos obviously to Turkey. Once we arrive in Turkey, we would head east, going along the coast road, before having to head up north into the centre of the country. So we'd probably head towards Konya, and then eventually into Cappadocia itself. Now we would be staying in hotels, local hotels, bedsits, Airbnbs. We want to keep the price down as much as we possibly can, but at the same time have a good time. We're not planning to rush it. We're probably going to take about a month doing it. It's not about ticking boxes. Well, it is, because we want to visit Cappadocia, but it's about the adventure we're going to have along the way. Meeting people, finding incredible places, finding incredible roads, and we'll just see where the journey takes us. Now here's an interesting bit. Since I've been living on the boat here in Greece, I have had several emails from previous customers of ours who came on the tours asking if we would be doing any tours around the Mediterranean. And this got me thinking last night. I don't think for 1 minute there'd be anybody who would want to do the tour for the whole month, because they're going to have time off work or away from the families for a whole month, and that's a long time. But they might want to come and do sections with us. For instance, doing the coastal road down the south of Turkey. Let me know in the comments if it's something you'd be interested in. I don't know logistically how it would work at the moment, whether you'd have to ride down there on your own bike, or maybe we could organise some hire bikes. I'm sure there's going to be somewhere where we could do that. But it is an option, and I'm keeping the options open. We're going to do it regardless, but if we can get other people along with us as a tour company again, then that would be great also. Whichever way, we're going to be documenting it, we're going to be filming it, and we'll be putting a series out of the road trip around Turkey. So why now? Well, I think sailing and biking touring on bikes has got something in common. They're both about freedom, self-reliance, adventure, and getting away from the normal routine of life, of everyday life. And after years of being focused mainly on sailing, it feels like the right time to bring bikes back into our life again. And Jenny fully agrees. So that's the plan. A new bike, a month riding across Turkey, Crete to Cappadocia, and hopefully bringing all of you along with us on the journey, obviously via YouTube. If you'd like to see this happen, hit subscribe, give us a like, drop us a comment below, and if you'd like to join us, get in touch and tell us, what bike do you think we should buy? Is the Benelli going to be up to it? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next adventure.